Some of you loved it, some of you hated it, but today you're going to get to Murph and debate it, grading the 2023 New England Patriots draft class. Stay tuned. You're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful. Thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage. Welcome to Report Card Day here on our draft coverage of the 2023 NFL Draft. Of course, Locked On Patriots is a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So subscribe, follow for free on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts to get the latest episode as soon as it's available. I'm your host, Mike Debate, and I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Computer Sports Illustrated. So reach out to me and let me know what's on your mind on Twitter at MDABATENFL. While you're out there showing some love to the Twitterverse, please be sure to follow the Locked On Patriots account as well. And of course, if you're showing love to anything when it comes to New England Patriots coverage, how could you not throw a little the way of my good friend and my co-host today here, my cohort in crime, my partner in crime, really, throughout all of draft season, the legendary Thomas Murphy of E2G Sports is here today. Thank you for coming to me in friendship, and thank you for having my back for the past few months, Don Murph.
Always, buddy, always in every ways. Murph and debate it. I like that.
You like that, huh?
I did. I like that. And I feel used, Michael. I woke up and I felt used on Sunday morning, and I told my priest that at 8 a.m. Mass, and I don't want to call myself unhappy. I don't want to call myself pissed off. I just feel used because, quite frankly, my draft was better than Bill's.
Folks, you can be the judge of that, and I don't think you're going to find a whole lot of people that are going to argue with you, Murph. There is no question about it that this week here on Locked On Patriots is going to be a lot of what ifs. Who made the right decision?
Yep.
What's going on with the Patriots picks? But it is report card day. The grade sheet is in, and Murph and I are ready to evaluate your New England Patriots performance in the 2023 NFL Draft. And Murph, before we get into grading each individual pick, or grading the rounds, I should say, or the days, really, because that's how we're going to work it.
Yeah.
Day 1, day 2, day 3, and then an overall grade at the end, folks, to wrap it all up and put a nice bow on it. For the first time since 2010, the New England Patriots made 12 picks in this draft. How surprised were you on that? Because I did not see them making 12 in this. I figured 8, 9, 10 max maybe at the most.
I was shocked. I was completely shocked. I thought a lot of these picks, Mike Giardi had tweeted out that the Patriots were looking to move up in day 2, move up in day 3, and didn't happen. Didn't really. There was a smidge of movement here and there. We'll go up and get a kicker, or we'll trade back and get a 4th rounder because we didn't have enough of those. And but no, it was quite the surprise, to say the least, to see this team take 12 picks. It didn't leave a lot of room for undrafted free agent signings. I'm not sure if we're going to get into that today, or if you've got another show to do later on during the week on that one. But I was shocked that I had to spend that much time on NFL Network.
Yeah, undrafted rookie free agents, definitely a staple of the New England Patriots roster, really under Bill Belichick since he's been in here. Murph and I are going to break those down a little bit later this week. We'll stick to the draft class for today, but ultimately, I agree with you. I think it was very surprising that the New England Patriots, entering day 3, 4 4th rounders, 4 6th rounders, you feel something's got to give. They turned one of those 4th rounders into a 5th rounder, and we're going to get into that in just a moment, folks, because that's got some people a little hot under the collar. But bottom line, the New England Patriots making it clear that if they're going to go with this young talent that they have in this draft, they were looking to get these guys drafted in here, and they did not want to take any chances of any one of these guys hitting unrestricted free agency and being courted by all 32 NFL teams, including themselves. So Patriots had a lot to answer for with the fan base on a lot of this, but Murph, again, I think we start with the consensus on the number one pick. Tell us again why this opening round is an A plus with Christian Gonzalez at number 17.
Yeah, Gonzalez slipping all the way to 17. The Patriots being able to trade back from 14, 2 spots, pick up a fourth round pick, and screw over the Jets, really put it over the top, man. It went from an A plus to an A plus plus, and I'm just thrilled. This kid is the lockdown corner that I didn't expect to be there. That I thought the Patriots would end up taking an offensive tackle, their biggest need, and we'll get into that in a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a phenomenal occurrence. I'm not sure why he slipped down the way he is. He was my number one cornerback in this draft. He was a lot of people's number one
Mm-hmm.
cornerback in this draft. There are a lot of people talking about how well Seattle did with their cornerback. You got a nickel, okay? The
Mm-hmm.
kid's a nickel. And but other than that, this was a fantastic pick. Witherspoon's great, a great talent, but I really think that this kid is the lockdown, standout cornerback that we're going to be talking about from years to come, 5, 10 years down the road, when this draft is ancient history.
Without question. Someone who can contribute right away on the perimeter. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
question about it. This kid is a pro level ready perimeter
yeah,
corner, and he's going to do that right out the gate. He's very good in man coverage, excellent in zone, the ability to lock down his side of the field, like you said. So he'll continue in that vein of Patriots lockdown corners. I love the aggressiveness that you see when he plays in man, and I love the patience that
oh
you see
God,
when he
yeah,
plays in zone. Never taking his eyes off the quarterback. There's nothing going on that field that Christian Gonzalez does not know about. They very easily could have jumped the gun here. We saw several of our colleagues on draft night saying Christian Gonzalez is slipping. He's slipping. You got to trade up. You got to get him now. The Patriots showed a lot of patience.
they did.
Some people may say that's a little bit foolish. Others may say, oh, if they wanted him, they would trade up and get him, like we talked about here on Friday. But the
Right.
Patriots played that board very well. And then to move down, give the Pittsburgh Steelers an opportunity to move up, take the
Yep.
player that the Jets wanted, and still know that sandwiched in between, Christian Gonzalez wasn't a threat to go anywhere. I think was
No.
masterful. Bill Belichick played a phenomenal game of chess.
Yeah.
Great job on the trade.
Bill worked it out perfectly. He knew the Steelers were going to go offensive tackle because otherwise he wouldn't have made the pick. The Jets were not going to go back-to-back years with cornerback picks because that's just going to screw you up 4 years down the line. And what are you going to do? You're picking up a fifth-year option on a cornerback. You picked up a fifth-year option on a cornerback the year before. They went with Will McDonald, who I do not believe was the end to take there. And the Commanders, everybody on the planet knew that the Commanders were going to take Forbes. Okay. They
Absolutely.
did everything but send up fireworks, how much they loved Emmanuel Forbes. And I don't get it. I still don't get it. I don't understand the love for this ball. But he's a good ball player. Don't get me wrong. But to take him over Gonzalez, no, nope, no way.
Yeah, I think the Patriots got the gem, the
Yep.
belle of the ball, so to speak, when it comes to cornerbacks in this draft, especially for the type of system they want to run. I've been very open that I've went back and forth a lot between he
Yep.
and Witherspoon, but right before the draft, when Claire and I did our ideal Patriots picks, Gonzalez was mine on the defensive side of the
Yep.
ball. I never thought the Patriots would have a chance to get him there, but I'm glad that you mentioned Washington again, because that definitely factored into the Patriots' decision. Matt Groh himself shared that with us on Saturday when the draft was said and done. He said you really kind of had a good idea what Washington was going to do. So really it was about strategizing teams that would be willing to trade up, take something off the table, and then be able to do it. So clearly screwing the Jets was a part of the Patriots' MO here. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And
Folks.
immediately afterwards, the conversation pivoted to, of course, the Patriots didn't get back enough. So and so got back this trading out. It costs more money to do business in New England, folks, than it does anywhere else.
And at the end of the day, they got the guy they wanted.
Yep.
And I think Patriots fans universally are going to be very happy with what they see from Christian Gonzalez. Patriots Nation, Murph, was united. Christian Gonzalez did the near impossible, with the exception of just the contrarians that want to be contrarians, and
Yep.
you know who I'm talking about. But mostly everyone in the fan base was pretty happy with Christian
Yeah.
Gonzalez being the pick. Night two, not so much, folks. And we're going to get into night two in just a moment. Murph and I are going to tell you exactly what we think of the day two picks when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues. But first, folks, today's episode brought to you by our good friends at Built.com. And if you're looking for a delicious snack but don't want all of the sugar and the calories, well, then you need to try the best tasting protein bar ever. That is Built. Folks, you got to try this. I don't know how Built does it. Murph and I have been trying to figure it out. It's more difficult to figure this out than to figure out how Bill Belichick is going to navigate his draft board. But these bars not only taste like a candy bar, but they maintain amazing macros. And what's even better is they're healthy, only 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, with a whopping 17 grams of protein. Yeah, amazing stuff. You don't even need to wait to get a box now. For years, we've been talking about ordering Built bars at Built.com. You can still get all of your specialty flavors there, no question about it. But now, if you're near a Walmart, walk to the pharmacy section, grab yourself a box of Built bars. You can pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or even the coconut puff. And if you're close to a Sam's Club, even better, you can run in and grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors, brownie batter puff and churro puff. Folks, don't delay. Do it today. You can thank me later. Built.com or buy Built bars at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. Patriots fans, the legendary Thomas Murphy of E2Gsports.com joins me here today. It is report card day for the 2023 NFL Draft for your New England Patriots. And so far, the Patriots are cooking along. They are going strong. An A+ from both me and Murph for day one, not only for the Christian Gonzalez pick, which probably would have got an A+ anyway, but the manner in which they did it, the trade down, absolutely getting reviews. Murph, we bring ourselves now to round 2, pick 46. Yep. And a lot of different ways this could have gone. You and I both believe that once the Patriots went defense in the first round, you got to go offensive line in the second round, right? It's got to be an offensive tackle. A lot of great guys out there on the board. Well, the Patriots went against the grain. A guy that we've talked about here before had a little bit of a lower grade on him than the Patriots did, but Keion White coming in, clear need at the edge, without any question about it. He fills this nicely. I mean, this guy right away is going to be a contributor against the run year one. I think year 2, year 3, he could be a 5-tech defensive end at every down player, or at least a 3-down player. He's got tremendous athleticism, freakish athlete. Those are all the descriptive words that we hear when it comes to Keion White. But my question to you is, Murph, was this a reach at round 2, 46?
No, I don't think it was a reach. I just think that it was a mistake. Okay. Looking at the big picture, I think it was a mistake. This kid is a fantastic talent. You can go over and check out all my grades at E2Gsports.com. I just put them up this morning. Thank you. And, but my grade has nothing to do with the player. It's going at this position when you could have gone at this position later in this draft. I understand that he had a first round grade from a lot of people, and when somebody like that falls in your pocket, into your lap, you have to take it. I didn't think you had to take it. What Bill could have done with this pick would have completely changed this entire draft. Completely. If he had taken Cody Mauch, who went how many picks afterwards? Just 2 picks afterwards to Tampa. Okay, he's taking care of a lot of the interior lineman issues that he felt that the team had. Mauch is a guy that can play right away on the right side at tackle, can also back up on the interior. We all saw it during the Senior Bowl process that he could even play center. And I just think that was the pick there. This pick, I don't have a problem with the player, folks. Don't think that I'm coming out and rooting against him, please. This is a B+ pick. It's just the fact that I really thought Bill should have addressed what he addressed later on in the draft with real proven talent that was going to excel at the pro level right away.
Good
Okay,
point.
so this is more taking away from what he did in the fourth round as opposed to anything else. You
Yeah,
know?
and I think you make a valid point without any question. You look at the Patriots' needs, and we both came into this draft, Murph, several times, and I stand by it that
Yep.
offensive tackle was their biggest need
Yeah.
coming into this draft. The Patriots did not take a bona fide offensive
No.
tackle in this draft. It's a surprise. And it's a little bit of a concern, if I'm being honest. But the one reason why I may be a little bit more bullish on this pick, and not by much, folks, but I'll take a page from exactly how you described it. I think the fact that a talent of Keion White dropping to this level, dropping to them at
Go
number
ahead.
46 in the
Yep.
second round, kind of made Bill Belichick take a look at it, Matt Grove take a look at it and say, that
Right.
type of talent's there. This guy really is a tremendous fit in the type of defense that we love to run here. I think they were rolling the dice and taking their chances that they would be able to find a trade partner or someone that could help them move up to maybe get that offensive tackle or that big tight end that they've been coveting here in this offense.
Mm.
And I just
We're,
don't think it came together. I think they
we're gonna
gambled
get to
on
that.
taking White.
We're
Oh,
gonna
we
get to
will.
that.
Oh, we will, folks. Do not worry about it. You think we're going to talk tight endage here on Wednesday when the Countess of Class joins me? Yeah, Murph and I are going to get into it a little bit here in just a moment. But I think that's where the Patriots came from. In that vein, I can't really blame them all that much because, again, this really is a kid that I think can come in and be a tremendous contributor to this defensive front, not just this year, but years subsequently down the line. Josh Uche, Anthony Jennings, both headed for unrestricted free agency at the end of the year. You got to think after the year that Uche had last year, if he keeps up some of that this year, that he's going to
Yeah.
be in line for a big payday. And the Patriots may have aligned themselves to the point where they may be able to get similar production. I'm not saying these two are like for like players,
No.
but I think what they're going to be looking for are players that can fill the roles that they need to have filled.
And
And you can build around Keion White.
yeah, you can. And he's I don't want to say a prototypical Patriot because if you
Mhm.
look at his size and length, he's not. But I can see
Right.
him kicking inside. This guy's going to play with his hand in the dirt a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. He can. And he's
Okay.
very well suited at being able to do that. So, Murph, I think, is looking more at the big picture, and I appreciate and I understand exactly where he's coming from. I was a little bit more immediate. Where do
Yep.
you lie on Keion White, folks? Let us know your grade on this pick. We would love to hear. You heard from some of you over the weekend on Keion, and we continue to do that. But the second round was not done yet, Murph, because if the Patriots didn't address offensive line in the second round at pick number 46, they were
They
definitely
had
going
to.
to do it. They
Had
were
to.
definitely going to do it at pick 76 in the third round. And not so much. Marte Mapu comes in at the Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year. A lot to love about this kid when you just watch his film, when you watch his energy, the way he plays, the type of things that he can do. So versatile in terms of lining up at
Yep.
safety, at linebacker. We've seen him, line up at the nickel, corner,
Yep.
wherever the teams need him, he can do it. So there's no question that the player can play at a high level in the NFL, but some are questioning whether or not this might be the best pick for the Patriots, where they took him. Your thoughts on this one, Murph?
It was redundancy that really got me with this pick. The Patriots have this guy on their roster already. Okay, they really do. They have Kyle Duggar, they have Adrian Phillips, they have Jabril Peppers, but they went with Mapu here, and they didn't go with Washington. They didn't go
Mm,
with an offensive tackle. They didn't go with the tight end. Now I've heard reports around the league that Washington's medicals weren't what everybody was
mm,
expecting. I forget who said it on draft night, and I'm really sorry about this, but he had some swollen knees going at the combine, and that might have scared some people off. We all know how Bill gets scared off these days by any knee issues coming out because it just comes back to bite him in the ass, whether it's defensive lineman from Florida State or running backs that he needs to move on from. So that might have been an issue. This is a kid that I would have loved in any other year than
mm.
this. He is a heat-seeking missile, He plays a physical game that I love, and I can't wait to see him on the field. It was just once again the guys that went after him at positions of need. Byron Young, who I had mocked to the Patriots here at this pick, went what 1-2 picks afterwards.
Mhm.
Tucker Kraft was out there. He went 3
Right.
picks out. I think he's gonna light things up in Green Bay out there. Josh Downs went right after him. There were definitely um, players to be had out there that were in a different vein of filling in Patriot needs and backing up positions that needed to be addressed before this one did. As I
Mhm.
just said, these players are on the roster. The depth is there. I understand that Duggar is coming into a contract year. Well, guess what?
Mhm.
Sign him.
Mhm.
Okay, because I'm tired of watching you draft good people and then watching them walk out the door after their first contract is up.
Mm. Good point. And I think that was going to lead me into that question. And I'm glad that you answered it because it is a concern, I think, of some within that front office that
Yep.
are looking at this and saying, okay, well, Kyle is playing at such a high level. He has truly gone above and beyond what anyone thought he was going to be. Take a look at some of the vitriol that was thrown at the New England Patriots when they dared take a kid from Lenoir Rhine
Yep.
and, with valuable
Yeah.
draft capital. And really, a lot of people were looking at this and going, "Are you kidding me?
Who's
Really,
Lenoir Ryan?
really? Yeah,
Didn't
really,
I take
Bill?
her
I
to
mean,
prom?
yeah, exactly. I mean, but Kyle Duggar came in here with an understanding of the
Yep.
playbook. And Murph, you and I talked about this. I remember
Yeah.
the day after he was drafted, and you were among the first to say it. This
Yep.
kid has a PhD in the Encyclopedia Britannica
Yep.
already, and
Already.
those are Murph's. Yeah, those are Murph's exact words, folks. Go ahead and take a
Wow.
look. It's how long we've been doing this, bud. But you know what? Feels like yesterday.
Yep.
But I digress. Very good point about Mapu. Again, I love the player. There's so
I
much
do
to love
too.
about this kid.
Like I said, any other year, I would have said to trade up and get this kid, and
Mm,
because he's just that good. I don't care
he
what
really is.
school he went to. He is a fantastic ball player. Fast is fast can be, and bingo, I love it. It's just when it comes around to the to report grade time instead of an A, he's I can't. It's a B pick, a B plus pick because of the kid's talent.
Yeah, without any question. I mean, in 13 games last year in his senior season, 76 tackles, 6.5 tackles went for loss,
Yep.
1 sack, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. That's pro level good
Yeah.
in elongated games. Doing that in a compact 13 games, even though I know the competition, like you said, is not the same as what he's going to be
No.
facing in the NFL, that's still big time, folks. So, Murph, overall, day 2, when it comes to Keion White, when it comes to Marte Mapu, what is your overall grade for the Patriots?
On talent alone, it's a B plus. On the
Mhm.
fact of needs and ignoring needs and trying to piece stuff together later, it's a B.
Hmm.
It's a B.
Gentlemen, you do not have enough talent to win
No.
on talent alone. Sorry, folks. Whenever I heard talent alone, it just miracle kicks right in, and you have to do that. But no, all kidding aside, I am the grade on talent alone because I think it's a little bit
Yep.
early to determine whether or not the Patriots filled needs or filled not. I'm going to go with a B plus here on these 2 picks because I just love the electricity and the athleticism. Patriots need to get younger and maybe a little bit more athletic in all areas. Their defense had a good amount of it in 2022, but they are definitely stocked with it in 2023. But Murph, the Patriots were not done yet because as much fun as we had on day 1 and day 2 stocking the defense, the Patriots had some offensive work to do, and they did it. And they started off in a big way, but did they do it in the right way? Well, stick around because Murph and I are going to discuss that point and more when we grade day 3 and our overall grades when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues. That's fans, the legendary Thomas Murphy of E2G Sports, the Counter Murphy Fisto, the Monster Master of Disaster, the Green King of Sting joins me here today. It has been a blast breaking down the draft for you. We have got some serious grades to hand out here on day 3 because the Patriots, again, making 9 picks on this day. Unbelievable. 3 offensive linemen. They went with a pair of wide receivers. They went with a pair of cornerbacks and a pair of specialists, Murph. I'm not going to step on your toes any longer. Let's start off. Where did the Patriots get these picks right? What were your favorite picks of the day when it came to Saturday's haul?
Saturday's haul, my favorite pick of the day, it wasn't Chad Ryland. I'll tell you that much. It probably going to have to be, wow, we're probably going to have to go down to the 4th round here, folks. And I mean, the 5th round here. Yeah, we talked about him a bunch, and I'm gonna say my favorite pick of the day was Antonio Murph.
Yeah, a lot of people are very impressed by what he brings to the table. Look, definitely weighted. There's no question about it. 329 pounds.
Right.
I know the Patriots would love to take a little bit of that off, but he has surprising amount of athleticism for a guy his size. Take a look. He moves around a lot better than people give him credit for. Solid balance. That's going to help him at the pro level. This kid's going to stand up to whatever defenders are throwing at him. I mentioned here over the weekend in our bonus episode that I was a little bit concerned by some of the hand placement because we saw Antonio's name pop up a lot on mock drafts that were sent to us, Murph. Because of that, it gave me a little bit more, I don't know, maybe motivation, maybe a little bit more cause to take a deeper look into him. And you notice that when his hand placement was a little bit of an issue, it threw him off balance a little bit. I think with solid coaching, I think with Billy Yates, Adrian Clem working with this kid, he can be a good addition to this offensive line. And I think in a lot of ways, City Sau is about the same type of situation, not the same type of player, but the same type of situation. A lot of upside with the proper coaching. This kid could be harnessed. You heard a lot of people saying over the weekend that they were surprised that City was not graded higher on a lot of draft boards than he was. This is one that really came away from me saying, I think this could be an intriguing pick, especially with, again, folks, Michael Wainu coming up. There's a lot of people that believe that he is going to get blown away by an offer if the Patriots do not sign him to an extension. And I think it might be tough. I think linemen love to test the open market. Look at the contracts that were handed out this year. The Patriots have to think for the future, and I think that's why they were thinking for the interior, at least in the future of this offensive line. But
yeah, I gave this pick a C, just because of redundancy. Again, he's an interesting grab at 117. The offensive tackle was still the need, and he played a little left tackle his freshman year, but sophomore year he got kicked inside to left guard, and and then he played center. I understand what Bill's doing, and what I had just said is, I don't know if he would have made this pick if he knew Mafi was going to be there in round 5.
The competition at the guard position, Murph, over training camp is going to be interesting to see. I can't wait for those competitions and to start watching him mix it up with So and Cole Strange, and it's going to be a lot of fun. No question about it.
What did you think of the Andrews pick, though?
Andrews, I thought, was a good pick off the bat. I know a lot of people were surprised that they went with a center here, and I think that the first thing I thought of was you because you love centers, and they did. He's at his best when he's keeping interior linemen from the side. He's very good at the power run, the outside zone. So
if you can fix his feet and coach up his pass pro, this is a really good pick. And it also says, we don't want to see James Ferentz out there again.
The Patriots used offensive line picks very strategically, and they did it very early. They were very serious about giving guys like Cody Rusey and Chasen Hines and Andrew Stuber a chance to win potential starting positions this year. I don't think you see Jake Andrews come off the board at 107. I don't think you see So, and I don't think you see Antonio Maffi guys get those shots in the 4th and the 5th round. Those are 6th, 7th round picks. I think if they're looking for more pure competition, they got high hopes for these kids. So.
Yep, they really do. And like I said, when you look at the depth chart and you see James Ferentz there, name behind, starting left guard, starting center, starting right guard, it's something that we missed early in the process as to how the team felt about the depth at these positions and what they needed to do going forward. And
Mm.
obviously, Ferenz and maybe even Kajust is have played their last downs here in New England. I'm not sure. I'm not,
Yeah, it is very possible. And don't forget, just had his tender picked up. Maybe the Patriots are doing
Yep,
that to keep him as a trade piece, someone that they could get a little something for
right.
rather than just let him walk out the doors. So keep a
Have to
sharp
talk to
eye, folks.
Miguel. Talk to
Yeah,
Miguel about that, about
exactly. Oh, we
what's going
will
to
be. Yeah.
happen. Yeah,
Now that the Foxborough fold is complete for a little
yep.
while, we're going to talk about what all of these picks mean financially very soon. Keep a sharp eye, folks.
Cool.
Murph, before we get to, I think, what has the opportunity to be the most controversial pick that the Patriots made this weekend, I wanted to talk a little bit about the specialists because there is no question about it that there was need at both areas. You and I both thought the need
Yep.
at punter was greater than the need at
Right.
kicker. I like what they did with Bryce Behringer, even though I was
Right.
very adamant that Michael Turk was a guy that I would love
Right.
to see here. Bryce is phenomenal, folks. You're going to love this kid. Ice water in the veins, someone that can boot for power, can boot for accuracy. I love the area that they took him in the draft. This was, I think, a real home run. Chad Ryland, I think, can be an excellent kicker in this league. I think he will be an excellent kicker in this league. My only concern here is, did the Patriots jump the gun a little bit at 112 in round 4?
Yeah, they did. They saw Moody come off the board, and they weren't going to miss on the second guy. They
Hmm.
weren't. This is how they felt about the kicking game this year. And I'm not going to get on Chad Ryland, but I just don't think that it was money well spent.
Hmm. You can make the argument. I don't think, again, 82% success rate here for Chad
Yeah.
Ryland during his tenure with Eastern Michigan. Make kicks in clutch situations. He
Yeah.
loves kicking in the cold weather. We had a chance to talk to Chad on Saturday afternoon. He was introduced to the Boston media, and he did say that he loves kicking in all types of weather. He's ready to do it. I think that's something that also maybe tipped the scales in his
Right.
favor here as well.
It really did. Where he came from, what he was able to do in that kind of weather, it just shows that, Bill is thinking, about where they play, unlike other teams in the AFC East that put together the greatest shows on turf and then
Mm-hmm.
wonder why they falter in the first round or the second
Mm-hmm.
round of the playoffs. Sorry, Buffalo, not sorry. Um, they but no, he even traded up to get this kid. That's how
Mm-hmm.
much he liked him. So, I'm not giving it a pass by in any way, shape, or form. There were, again, there were other guys on the board. Roshan Johnson, a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I could have seen them going there. Carter Warren. Okay, here we go. Here we
Mm-hmm.
go. Now I'm going to get upset. All right, Carter Warren was still on it. Carter Warren is not a number one talent. He isn't what I mean to say. He's not a first round talent, but he's a guy that could be coached up by somebody like Adrian Clem to eliminate the issues that he has, and
Mm-hmm.
that would have been my pick here. That really
Mm-hmm.
would have been my pick here after foregoing it. I really think you could have got this kid later. You really didn't need to trade up for him.
Last question on the specialist before we let this go. I think it's inevitable at this point that Nick Folk has kicked his last game here in
Yeah.
New England. A hell of a run. We'll
Yep.
do our tribute to Nick eventually when things do shake out, because it's not official yet, folks. But any scenario here where you can see these guys competing, I think you trade up in round 4 at 112
Yep.
to get a kicker. He's going to be your guy from day one.
Yeah, without a doubt. Hats off to everything the man did while he was here. He's 38 years old.
Mm,
38, man. There's
yeah.
there's a the longer kicks did not happen for him last year, and I think outside of 50 yards,
Mm,
um, Ryland was nailing 60% of his kicks. So,
mm,
I think he missed 2 extra points in his entire college career. So,
mm,
he was there. Bill got him. Hopefully, he'll be the kicker here for the next 10 years, going in the vein of kickers past that have just been, you know, fantastic and
mhm,
clutch,
mhm.
and those guys that you didn't worry about when Bill sent them out there for a 40 yarder when you're down two.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we have one more pick to kind of sift through at this point. I know we're going to miss a couple here, and I don't mean to
Right.
disrespect anybody at this point, but we wouldn't be doing our job unless we broke down the Patriots' sixth rounder at number 187, Keion Butte. We've talked about him on the pod
Yeah.
in weeks past, Murph. No question about it. We saw him mock to the Patriots several
Yep.
occasions on some of the great mock drafts sent to us. We both agreed that the off-field issues were probably a little bit too
Right.
much for the Patriots to sift through, but obviously, uh, New England felt differently, and they needed to connect with a player that has the potential to be a tremendous contributor in this offense if he's dialed in. Big question is if he's dialed in. Keion was already in Foxborough on Sunday. He tweeted out on his
Yep.
Instagram page. Well, you can't really tweet on your Instagram page. See, folks, you cover Bill Belichick long enough, you lose all sense of reality when it comes to social media. But in any case, really, really low risk here with 6 at 187, but a potentially very high reward. What are your thoughts on this?
I think Butte is, just a year ago, he was being talked about as a top 10 pick, as definitely a first round pick. He got injured. He had some issues
Mm-hmm.
down there at LSU that not everybody knows about. I wrote that, as a coach, you run into players that just don't get along with you, that just don't see things the way you do, and that tends to hurt their game. But I think if Bill can unlock whatever this kid has locked up in him, and he's healthy, this could be the steal of the draft.
Yeah, it really could be. I mean, when you look at what this kid can do on the
Yeah,
field and just the ability, the toughness with which he plays, this kid, talk about change of direction.
yeah,
If I'm fumbling a little bit here with my words, folks, bear with me because when you watch and take a deeper dive into what Keion Butte can do on the field, and shame on me for not giving this kid a second, third, and fourth look throughout this draft cycle and really kind of buying into some of the hype, like you said, about the injuries and the off field concerns. I didn't think it was something the Patriots would want to dip into. But when you look at what he does on the field, when he's dialed in, it really is otherworldly. And I
right.
think an opportunity for the Pats here to really bolster their offensive skill positions
Kid
to,
was an All-American as a freshman.
yeah,
He
it
was a
truly is.
freshman all no, I switched that up, sorry about the dyslexia. He was a freshman All-American,
Hmm.
and then, people just started wondering what was going on, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure what was going on. I hope Bill can figure it out because, yeah, go look at the film. Just
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. And Dr. Kyle Trimble will be joining us here later this week. We're going to talk a little bit about Keishon's injury and what it means for him on the field in terms of full recovery, what that means that we might see this year, next year, beyond. If any of you have any medical concerns, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about that here on Locked On Patriots. But at the same time, there's no question that the talent is there. 308 yards in one game set a new SEC record
Yep.
as a freshman for LSU. That's something that any receiver would take, and I think a huge reason why the New England Patriots wanted to take a dip into this talent pool. Murph, I lied. We're not going to cap it with Keion Butte just yet because the
Okay.
Patriots have another Bolden in the mix. If I didn't do this, my good friend would be upset, and I don't want to upset him. He is the true Don of Locked On Patriots. So give us your take on Isaiah Bolden. I love this pick. I think this is great
Yeah,
for the
I
Pats.
really do, and it's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm wearing a Bolden jersey right now. That just, happened but this could definitely turn out to be a fantastic pick. I like this a lot more than things that he did earlier. Just for being a Bolden, you get a B from me. But Bolden was the first player from a historically black college or university to be taken this year's draft, and that makes me root for him.
Yeah,
It,
absolutely.
6'2", 220 pounds. This kid left Florida State to go learn from Deion
Mhm.
Sanders.
Yeah, he
Okay,
did.
that shows me a lot. All right,
Hmm.
he left a big time program when he saw a coach that could turn him into something else, and that's really just the deepest respect, man. He had 44 tackles, 30 of them were solo. this year. He broke up 7 passes and averaged 26 yards per kickoff return. Okay, that's
Unbelievable.
that, so he has team versatility, position versatility. He's locked down and he's learned from the man that arguably is the best cornerback to ever play the game.
Yeah.
So there you go, man. I love this pick, love the name. Can't wait to see him on the field. He will not be a practice squatter, believe me.
No, he won't. No, he won't. And this kid's got kick returner written all over him. Murph
Yep.
mentioned his senior season and what he was able to do in his junior year, his first year at Jackson State after transferring. Absolute dominance in kickoff return, 36.9 yards per return, 2 kickoff return for touchdowns. Yeah, this kid's got speed. He's got the blaze, and he's got the swagger. And I love this pick for the New England Patriots. Murph, we've arrived at that moment. We're going to take your day 3 pick, or your day 3 grade, I should say, followed by your overall grade for the New England Patriots on this draft.
My day 3 grade is a C plus. All right. I'm sorry, folks. That's just, I call it like I see it. It's a C plus. My grade for the entire draft was a B. You can't really go wrong when you get Gonzalez at the top of this draft. Bill got serious talent in the second and third rounds that I thought. So I'm not really holding that against him, but what they did with stockpiling the interior offensive line when they could have taken care of that with 1 pick, maybe 2 earlier in this draft, or 1 pick in the second round, 1 pick and 1 pick again in the fourth. It really gave me pause. It did. And Bill could have had Deuce Vaughn there in 6 and he passed on him and went 2 picks later to Dallas, to stick with his dad.
Absolutely.
Dad picked him 2 picks later.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk
that
about a
would have
great
been,
moment,
yeah,
folks. We talk a lot about rivalries, and Murph and I have our fun at the expense of the Jets.
Right.
And the Cowboys we've taken shots at as well. But when you see the emotion on Chris Vaughn's face when he was able to call his son and say, "You're going to come join me here in Dallas," truly a great moment. So,
it really was.
that's really heartwarming. But
It really
that
was.
being said, we both wanted him here in New England.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Deuce Vaughn running around in New England.
It really would. Bill hit the couple of guys who could come in here at wide receiver and do some damage because they have some speed and they have the ability. But to have seen Deuce Vaughn added to this Patriots backfield, a guy that I feel can line up anywhere on the field and O'Brien would have had a freaking field day with, is just phenomenal. And I'm going to watch this kid's career. He's another guy that will not be making it to a practice squad anywhere. He will crack the lineup there in Dallas, and they're going to love him.
Yeah, I think Mike McCarthy is going to really love what he has to offer. And, bottom line, I think Bill O'Brien is going to like some of the weapons he acquired and some of the offensive line help that he acquired. I think the defensive coaches are going to be ecstatic with some of these players. On day 3, I'm going to go with a B minus, simply because I think that Ryland has an opportunity to be a very good kicker. And at the end of the day, if he does produce the way we think he can, I think it's going to erase some of those concerns about maybe jumping the gun there. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. That's an optimistic B minus, but I see where you're coming from. Overall, I think this was a B plus draft for the New England Patriots. I think start to finish, they were able to
Mike's
fill some needs.
a glass half full guy.
I'm a glass half full. I am Mr. Positivity when it comes to that. I try to a fault sometimes, but I think there's a lot to like about these guys, and I think this might be a better draft once the dust settles. Once you start to see what these guys can do on the field, get back to me during training camp and in the preseason when we start to see some of these guys pop. Then we'll know if the Patriots maybe reached or maybe didn't. But ultimately, their true fate is not going to be known until 1 or 2 years down the line. It's just how it goes. And we try to do the best we can at prognosticating, but it's not always an exact science. What was your favorite pick, folks? What did you like about this draft? Give us your overall grades. Drop them in the comments section on YouTube or drop us a line either at TMurph207, at MDABATENFL, or at the Locked On Patriots main page at LO_Patriots. Buddy, what can I say? It's been my privilege. It's been my honor to share the microphone with you all these draft seasons. We're already looking forward to 2024, and we're going to do it again here, folks. As long as you want us, we'll keep coming back. But we'd be remiss if we did not thank each and every one of you for sticking with us throughout an incredible draft cycle. Folks, the mock drafts that you sent in were truly amazing. We're going to miss that, but please do not think that Locked On Patriots is no longer an interactive podcast. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your topics, your thoughts, things that you think should be shared with us. We're going to be doing a lot more mailbag episodes, so please keep your thoughts, your support, just anything that's on your mind coming into Locked On Patriots. But what can I say before I let you go? Any parting words of wisdom, or let us know what we can expect in the coming days and weeks from the great pen, the great voice of Thomas Murphy.
Well, of course, Red Sox coverage over there at e2gsports.com. I'll be deep diving into that. Mini camps will be opening up. I'm going to jump in on that. It's a never-ending soap opera over there of sports. Just come on over and check it out. And Bill, do not kick on Wayu outside. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Good point. Good point. I'll be honest with you. I toyed around with the idea a little bit in my head this
a lot of
weekend.
people did.
I thought some things, a little bit, but I chose not to. And I think Bill will choose not to either. I don't think it makes much sense. I think they're happy with what they got, according to what Matt Groh said. So we'll see what it looks like on the field, folks. But once again, thank you for all of the support you lend to Locked On Patriots. Don't forget to check us out here tomorrow. Tyler Lamb of Stadium Rant's going to join me. He's been all over draft coverage from start to finish. Tyler going to give his thoughts on what the Patriots did and what it means for them moving forward. So definitely check that out here on Locked On Patriots. Stay locked in, download, subscribe to, follow wherever you get your podcasts. On behalf of the legend himself, the legendary Thomas Murphy of e2gsports.com, I'm Mike Debate. Continue to stay safe, stay well, be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow here on Locked On Patriots.